London was at the heart of the Industrial Revolution in the 18th century, and it wasn't all glamorous. William Blake takes us on a walk through the dark side of this turbulent transition. Hello, thinkers, and welcome back to Soch Academy. Today, we are going to explore the line by line meaning of the poem London written by William Blake. But first, let us try to understand the context of the poem. This poem was written during the Industrial Revolution. Many new inventions, such as the steam engine, stimulated mass production in factories and economic growth. People from rural areas migrated to cities in search for employment and a better life. But unfortunately, this system created a bigger divide between the social classes. The rich got richer and lived a comfortable life, while the poor struggled to make ends meet. Child labor was rampant. A prominent example was chimney sweepers. Little children were forced to go inside the chimney exhaust filled with soot and ash and clean them. This caused dangerous diseases and infections. Their wages were also very low. They lived in horrible conditions and suffered immensely. On the other side, there was political unrest. The French Revolution inspired reforms across Europe, and the British ruling class feared that a similar kind of upset or revolution could happen in England, so they imposed strict restrictions on freedom of speech and assembly as a precaution. William Blake was an English poet. He laid the groundwork for Romanticism. He witnessed a period of intense social and political change during the Industrial Revolution. He openly criticized the unfair social, political, and economic systems. Today, he is celebrated as one of the most visionary and socially conscious poets of his era who gave us valuable insights into the dark sides of urbanization. The poet wrote two collections of poems. Songs of Innocence focuses more on optimism and on a childlike view of the world, whereas Songs of Experience expose the darker side of the urban life. And this poem London is a part of the Songs of Experience. Now that we have understood the context, let's explore the poem in detail. I wander through each chartered street, near where the chartered Thames does flow, and mark in every face I meet, marks of weakness, marks of woe. In this stanza, the speaker says that as I walk through the street, I feel like it is chartered, controlled, or owned by someone. And even the river Thames does not flow freely, so there is no freedom. And mark in every face I meet, marks of weakness, marks of woe. As he walks and sees the expression on people's face, he can notice that they are in pain and suffering. They are sad and in misery. They feel weak and helpless. In every cry of every man, in every infant's cry of fear, in every voice, in every band, the mind-forged manacles I hear. The mind-forged manacles I hear. This is a very beautiful phrase. Manacles means handcuffs, which are used to tie hands. But mind-forged means created and imposed by the mind. So here he says that there is a part of restrictions imposed by the government through bans and rules which people have to follow. But there are also some self-imposed limitations that the people have put upon themselves. Their minds have created those limitations. They are feeling helpless and weak, and they have created their own fears. All people from infants to adults are crying. They are filled with fear. And in every voice he can notice this sense of suffering. But they are suffering silently. They do not have the courage to raise their voice against injustice. How the chimney sweepers cry, every blackening church appalls, and the hapless soldiers sigh, runs in blood down palace walls. Chimney sweepers are the people who clean the insides of the chimney exhaust, which is filled with soot and ash. And little children were forced to do this dangerous job. and they suffered many infections and diseases, and their wages were also very low. But the church, which is a symbol of a religious institution, it is a social institution, religious institution, it is supposed to provide relief to people who are suffering. It is supposed to restore a sense of moral responsibility in the society. But on the flip side, the church or the religious institutions ignored all of this. So blackening church is a symbol. It means that the smoke coming from the chimneys, which is the dark side of the people suffering, the little children suffering in the chimney sweeping, that smoke is staining the buildings, the walls of the church, as the social institutions are corrupted and immoral. And the hapless soldiers' sigh runs in blood down palace walls. So while the people, the ruling class, is protected, the soldiers are giving up their lives. Their blood is running down the palace walls. They are hapless, unlucky, and they are giving up their lives in order to protect the royalty. Again, the palace walls here symbolize how the corruption in ruling class people leads to the suffering of the soldiers. But most through midnight streets I hear how the youthful harlot's curse blasts the newborn infant's tear and blights with plagues the marriage hearse. At night the speaker hears the curse, which includes anger, disease, and the harsh reality of young poor prostitutes, which destroys the purity of marriage. The speaker connects marriage with hearse. Hearse is a vehicle which is used to carry the dead in a funeral. It indicates that the institution of marriage, which requires love and commitment, is destroyed, blights, destroyed because of disease, plagues, lust, and societal decay. Now I will tell you a short summary of this poem so that you can understand it very clearly. The speaker walks through the streets of London and notices that everyone is suffering. Newborn babies to adults, all are in pain and fear. There is no freedom. The restrictions imposed by the government and the self-imposed limitations have made everyone unhappy. The church, symbolizing the religious institutions, are supposed to provide relief to people, but instead they remain ignorant and indulge in corruption. The ruling class, symbolized by palace, exploits the common people. There is also moral downfall of the society, which destroys the lives of poor, infants, and social institutions like marriage. Think and share. What is the central message of this poem? Write your answers in the comments. Thank you so much for watching this video. I hope you understood the poem very nicely. If you have any doubts or questions, please share them in the comment section and I will see you in the next video.